everyone, so today I'm going to talk about my breastfeeding journey with Damien, which was my second child. So I have done this before, but this time was a little bit different than with my daughter Michaela. So I'm just going to start off right from birth and go right till today and just tell you how things went. Anyways, when Damien was born, he took a little while to get the hang of latching. I think it was like the second time that we tried feeding that he actually got the hang of it. I believe he fed for like 30 minutes, and that was probably later on that night. I think it was around 2 a.m. and I had him in the afternoon around 7. So it took him a little while to latch, but after that he did awesome and I had no issues. So then later on, I want to say he was probably about 4 or 5 months, something like that, and I got a clogged milk duct, and that was the most painful I've ever felt breastfeeding. And the main thing I did was pump feed as much as I could, and then also I did end up taking some Tylenol, and that just put me like right out because it was nighttime Tylenol, so I was very tired, but I just tried to feed Damien as much as possible, and I believe it went away within 24 hours. So it wasn't that bad, but it could have gotten a lot worse if I hadn't pumped as much as I could. So at roughly 10 months old, Damien started basically weaning himself from the breast. He was eating more by mouth, more like finger foods and dinners and just full meals basically. So he started basically weaning himself during the day because he was eating food. So during the day he would get like some juice, like really watered down juice. He would have some formula because I actually had 2 cans of formula that I had gotten for free samples. So I figured why not use them up. So he did start with some formula, and then also I had lots of frozen breast milk in the freezer. So he was doing pretty much a routine of some juice, watered down formula, and breast milk. So during the day he wasn't feeding, and I naturally just noticed that he wasn't eating breast anymore. So he did have his 2 feeds, one in the morning, which was breast milk, and then the one at night just before he went to bed, he would have breast milk. So when I noticed that, I started to plan to wean him completely. And at, I want to say about 10.5 months, I took him off of his morning feed because I figured that would be the easier one to wean from first. So I took him off of that. The first and second day I was engorged during that time. And then the third day my body was adjusted to not having 2 feeds but only 1 feed. So then it was a little difficult in the beginning because Damien didn't like the idea of a bottle, and it wasn't like he didn't have a bottle at all when I was breastfeeding him, because he would stay at my parents' house here and there and get breast milk from a bottle. But he would chew on the nipples, and he just would like take a little bit, like a couple ounces, and then he would like throw the bottle away and be like, okay, I'm done with this. And I don't know if it was because of the flow of the nipples or he just didn't like the idea of a bottle, but there was a little bit of time when I took him off the first feed that he didn't really want the bottle that much. So he did definitely notice missing breast milk, like from the boob, and that was just something he was going to have to get used to. So anyways, he did eventually get used to it, and he was drinking a good 8 to 10 ounces every feed, and I had weaned him, like I took him off the juice more so when he did get used to the bottle more. So around 11 months old, which was just a couple weeks ago, I decided one night that I wasn't really engorged or full of milk, and I'm like, well, maybe I shouldn't feed him his last feed. So anyways, I waited until the next night because I knew the next night he would be staying at my parents'. So I fed him that night, and then the next night I didn't end up feeding him. and by the night after that, I wasn't engorged. So I waited again the next night and I wasn't engorged. So at that point, I had taken him off boob completely, and he has done very, very well. There are times where he'll pull at my top, and I know he wants breast milk, but it's just I needed to wean him, and that the reason for weaning him is that I do have a bachelorette party to go to, as well as a wedding to be in, and I wanted to be able to have a drink or two without having to worry about pumping and things like that. So that's the reason for weaning him, and also I had made it to my goal of roughly 12 months, well, 11 months. So I was super proud of Damien and I. I never thought I would go a full year breastfeeding, but this time with Damien was very, very easy. I enjoyed it. He enjoyed it. Whereas Michaela, I was going through her disorder, and I had decided to wean her at 6 months. So I'm super happy with what we achieved. So for my next child, I will definitely be going till 12 months of breastfeeding, and if I can go longer, then that would be great. So as of right now, Damien is weaned to actual homo milk. So in the transition of weaning him to a bottle, during the day I would start weaning him to formula, from formula to homo milk as well. So he is currently on full homo milk. He had 2 cans of formula, and then during the last half a can, I transitioned him to homo milk. So again, I'm super proud of making it to 11 months. My goal was 12 months, but because of the wedding I have to be in and going to a bachelorette party and things like that, I was a month sooner, but I was okay with it. So that is my breastfeeding journey. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them. And if you have any suggestions for videos, please write them in the comments below as well. I know I've been slacking a little bit on the videos, but life has been super crazy busy. Damien's sick and Michaela's been up and down. So I'm actually going to do a update on her as well, letting you know kind of where she's at in her life. And I think that's all for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.